talk PSAC Championships of Indoor Track and Field with Lyndsey, Payne, and Ryan Clifford. Thank you both so much for stopping by.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah. So, a little bit of chaos before the event, of course, expecting a 2-day event, and then with wind and that being a bubble dome, everything was moved to 1 day. Did that affect you guys, or how much did that affect you guys in preparation?
For me, it didn't really affect me because I only had one event, but I'm sure for Ryan here it did.
Yeah, I had 2 events. We had the 5K, which was supposed to be the first day, and then the 3K the second day, but they condensed it into 1 day. So having the 5K first, which was what we expected, was fine. But then having the 3K on the same day and later in the evening was kind of actually a benefit, I'd say, to me, because it allowed me to I typically have like quick recovery time when it comes to those races. I didn't have to worry about most of my competition recovering, and I was able to kind of just use my strength that I kind of built up through cross country. So it kind of worked out really well in that sense.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, because obviously running 8K in a day isn't anything new for you, but to have that period of rest in between there, what do you have to do to kind of stay loose during that long downtime?
Yeah, so some of the things that I did, I mean, of course I stretched after the race, I cooled down, warmed up for the 3K, but then I also did the classic technique of throwing my legs upside down to let all the lactic acid flow out. So those kind of little tricks really helped out, and then I rolled out right before the race.
And Lyndsey, in the mile, what was a late addition there, so when you saw that, oh, okay, I'm going to be in this race, how did that affect your preparation for it, that really late on you were told that you were going to be in this race?
Yeah, I was really nervous because I had had a couple of rough races this past 6 weeks, but it's a different kind of setup, it's a different kind of length track, so you just kind of went in and started out in the back and then just took it from there and seen how many people I could chase down. So
before we get to results, let's talk about, though, the odd-shaped track in there. How does that affect you guys? Because you try to, especially in your races, the distance races, how does that affect you? Because you want to hit a certain pace for a lap, but it's a weird shape and a weird length of a track. How does that change your strategy?
And for me, at least, it really it becomes less of how many laps do I have to go, because that a 256-meter track doesn't really make sense to me, and it becomes more of, okay, I'm 8 minutes into the race, I have 7 minutes to go, so it's really just like based off time, but it's kind of hard to calculate how fast you're going for a particular event, so it really kind of puts you in that race mode and makes you race the race.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. I had certain splits that I was supposed to hit, but I kind of just went out and kind of had a feel for it and just kind of took it from there, really.
So let's talk about the results then. Came in 12th, took a couple people down there in the mile. Lyndsey finished 9th, right off the podium, but is a 6-second PR for you. How did you feel in that race?
It was a good feeling race, you know, having some troubles this indoor and then kind of getting back into the rhythm, and it definitely went better than what I thought was going to happen, so I'm really pleased with how it went.
And then 2 all-PSAC performances for you, Ryan. Let's start with the 5K. What did you see in that one? You were kind of leading the pack there for a while. Did that kind of hurt, or was that the strategy going through?
So the strategy for that, we knew going in that some of the other opponents would have had and still have strong kicks. But going into that, the strategy was to kind of go out, kind of set the pace like I'm racing my own race, and then start making a gap kind of throughout about halfway through the race to the end. But unfortunately, I wasn't able to make as much of a gap as I would have liked. So I was passed by one of the Westchester guys with a couple laps to go. And I tried catching, but I couldn't catch because he's got that killer kick. But second place performance on that was really good. And it was it was like very competitive, and the top 8 were all within about 15 seconds of each other. So it was like a really tight squeeze for that.
Yeah, but you love races like that when you'd rather have someone there pushing you. And then in the 3K, you had a kick there in the 3K. What was the strategy there? I remember Coach was saying that you guys nailed what you wanted to do. So what exactly in that 3K was your strategy?
Yeah, so the strategy for that was to just sit behind people and let people do all the work, and then with about 4 laps to go, which was about a kilometer to go, to kind of just start surging and see what I could do. So then kind of about with 1 kilometer to go, I think 5 of us broke off from kind of the main pack, and then with 3 laps to go, it was like 4 of us with the one guy from Westchester that was way ahead. And then with about a lap and a half to go, I kind of left that pack and was in second. And then with like a lap to go, I just kind of let the final kick go. And as Travis said, one of our teammates, he said, I left them in the dust. So
With a championship event, what are the different kind of feelings, or are there some sort of different mindset you guys go into for a championship event as opposed to just a regular meet, even if it's a big meet? Is there any sort of difference in mindset?
For me, it was my first PSAC championship, so going into it, nothing was really expected, but to kind of learn the routes for when the new people come in next year to kind of help them out on what to do. But
I think for the championships, definitely it's just having that air of confidence going in, even if you're not confident in what you're gonna do. Just make it look confident, don't look nervous, and then when your opponents see that, they're gonna be like, wow, I don't want to race against that guy or gal.